Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So let me start today's video by taking you into my portfolio. So if you consider this chart, what you will notice is that I had invested huge sums of capital in ITBs, which is IT index. I invested close to a CR and now I am sitting on an absolute profit of 15.5 lakhs, roughly utne ke aaspas, with a CAGR of 14.5%. And when did I start speaking about IT index? I started doing that 3 months back roughly. आप जाके video check कर लेना. You can also check my verified PNL. I am linking it in the description and comment box. Important point to note from this part of the conversation is that IT index is safe, and by investing in a safe asset, I was able to generate a total additional capital of 15.5 lakhs, right? So this is point one. Point two is a diagrammatically opposite point, which is around IDFC First Bank. So IDFC First Bank is a small cap. I started speaking about it roughly like 10 months back, something around that. And I invested and upward averaged my position. कोई कैसी खास bulk buy नहीं करी थी. And I continue to build my position. I invested roughly 22 lakhs. And उस पे I have made 100% profits. So I have been able to generate an additional capital of 22 lakhs. Now, the important point is, and there are 3 points, right? So the first key point is that people who understand investing, be it through real estate, be it through stock market, be it through FD investing, they always figure out like good opportunities to make money from every asset class because they understand the intricacies of it. So this is point one. Point two is that in the stock market, there are 2 ways of making very good total money in the stock market. Number one is a high risk, high reward strategy that you figure out small cap, mid cap companies, slowly build your positions, mitigate your risk, and then you make money on that. So that's one sensible way. Another way is कि यार आपको कुछ पिटिया पिटाया very good stocks मिल रहे हैं, large cap, low risk type of things. Then you put like bulk investing positions in it and make crazy amount of gains. Now majority of the people do not understand how to maximize the returns by investing, be it in the stock market, FDs, real estate, mutual fund, bonds, वगैरह वगैरह. So I thought that I will do a video where I will show you all the tricks, and these are very good money making tricks that can increase your profits by a lot without taking crazy amount of risk. And I'm going to discuss 7-8 very good strategies with you. So let's kickstart our video. Just a humble request that if you like these tips and strategies, like कर देना, please press the like button so that these type of videos reach out to more people. My goal is to build a huge investment community where we create a lot of rich people so that you get more control over your time. You're able to spend that time with your family, do wonderful things, take vacations, all that stuff. So good things happen to you. That is my hope. That is the intent with which I teach. So please press the like button and we'll get started. So let's start with the lowest risk option, जिसमें हर कोई पैसा डालता है, including me. So I also put my money in the lowest risk option, which is fixed deposit. I don't need to explain what fixed deposits are, but the critical mistake that we make in terms of putting money in FD is कि कुछ भी माहौल हो, right? Whatever the माहौल is, we will keep on doing FDs, right? That's not the right time. You should do fixed deposit when the interest rates are high. For example, right now the interest rates have peaked. Now news has started to come out that the US is not going to increase the interest rate. India में भी news आने लगी है in like 3 to 6 months. There might be interest rate cuts that might happen. So whatever emergency money you wish to keep, you should lock it in an FD when the interest rates are high. So this is one very simple trick. Here is the interest rate chart also. So you can see also that it has suddenly climbed up and now it is somewhat stagnating. So now is the right time to do fixed deposit. So this is part A. Part B, and a second mistake that all of us make is कि यार if we have an account with HDFC Bank, तो हम FD कहाँ कराएंगे? HDFC Bank में. Similarly, if we have an account with Axis Bank or ICICI, we will just do fixed deposit there. अब think about it कि there are so many banks and they would be offering different rates on their fixed deposit. So just for context, I had all my accounts in HDFC Bank. फिर मुझे पता चला कि यार, you know what, IDFC First is giving better FD rate. At that point in time, HDFC was giving like 6.5%, something like this, and IDFC First Bank was giving at 7.25. So I switched one of my accounts to IDFC First. So whatever safe money I want to keep for me and my family, I will put that in a fixed deposit in a bank where the interest rates are higher. So that is what I did. Now, if you want to check out the fixed deposit rates across 200 different banks in India, you can check that on an app called as Stable Money, who are the partners of today's video. I have personally used their platform. The UI UX is amazing. It's very easy to compare fixed deposit rates across 200 different banks. And आपको जिस भी बैंक का ठीक लगे, you can go ahead and do your FD in case you are looking to do that. Also, let me very quickly show you how to use the app also. So just go on the app and then you just need to fill out your basic details, mobile number, OTP and all this stuff, जो basic होती हैं. And from there, the best feature that you need to use is that just scan through different FDs, just read about it, compare them to other FDs that you could possibly consider putting your money in. Do the comparison. That's the most important part. And as per your risk appetite, you could make the investments. FDs typically safe होती हैं. They are backed by RBI, right? And आप check कर लेना. Right? And please read all the details carefully and accordingly make your investments. By executing these two steps, you will get a much higher rate of interest. So now let's discuss the second option, where again, almost all of us put money or are looking to put money or will put money in the future, which is properties. So समझ लेते हैं कि what is the good way of investing in property very, very quickly. I will give you some really clean, neat tricks here. Okay. So see, if you're looking to buy a property, there is a rule called as 4% yield rule. You should follow that. Now, what is the meaning of 4% yield rule and how to generate that 4%? I will tell you like a shortcut here also. So anyways, let me quickly complete the math. So 4% yield simply means that if you buy a house which is worth 1 crore, then the amount of rent that you should be able to save is how much? It should be a yearly rent of 4 lakh, right? So उसके हिसाब से 4% yield हो गई. Or you should be able to let out that flat at how much rent? At least a rent that generates how much rent a year? At least 4 lakhs. If you're not finding such a property, then there is no point in buying it. I will say कि यार ऐसी तो property होती नहीं है. I keep on getting so many comments कि यार ऐसी property नहीं होती, मुंबई में नहीं होती, दिल्ली में नहीं होती, फलाने डीम का जगह नहीं होती. Well, don't buy such properties. There are a lot of tricks and techniques that you can use in order to generate that return. I have personally, whatever properties I own, I make an upwards of 6% yield on every single property right now. How do I do it? Let me discuss 4 steps. So very practical steps, because I'm currently building my own resort in Goa. So I understand the nitty-gritties of this space. I will speak from practical experience. So let me share 4 strategies with you. So the first option of improving your rental yield is very simple, that you build the property yourself. You buy a land, you make a house on it, or you make a cafe on it, or you make a building on it, whatever you can do. That improves your rental yield by a lot. Why will that happen? Very simple math, that instead of buying a ready-made flat at 1 CR, if you are going and constructing that house yourself, you could possibly do it at 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs. Wo depend karega on a lot of different angles, but there will at least be a 40-50% difference. Now I know a lot of warriors will be there on comment section, yaar, no, what, this can't be done, land grabbing hoti hai, how to scout for a land, वगैरह problem. I get it. Okay, I'm not trying to tell you that this option is easy. I'm simply trying to tell you how you can improve the yield from your property. If you are building a property, it definitely improves your yield. That is the central message I was trying to give you. Now, how to build it? What are the points to keep in mind? Probably a separate video altogether, but just understand quick tricks here, right? Second point being that you could possibly consider buying an under construction property versus a ready property. These days, the situation is such in the property market, especially in Goa, that the builders उन्हें हाथ खड़े कर दिए. We are not going to sell you under construction only, right? We are just going to sell you when the property is ready. Why? Because they are able to command a premium. At least Goa के market में I can tell you that the difference between an under construction property and a fully made property is at least 20 to 30%, right? कि for example, अगर कोई विला 1 CR में मिल रहा था, पहले तो विला मिलता नहीं है at 1 CR, but imagine कर लो at 1 CR, it was under construction. If you would have bought within 1.5 years a ready property, exact same property will at least cost you like 1.3, 1.4, right? So इतना आराम से हो जाएगा. So buying under construction property from good builders early is a very good way of saving 20-30% money that indirectly improves your rental yield. Then comes the third trick, which is buy commercial properties. Usually it is seen, please notice the word usually, मैं सारे पूरे इंडिया की गारंटी नहीं ले सकता, but usually it is seen, if you buy a good commercial property, then the rental yields on commercial properties are much better compared to residential properties. So छोटी दुकान हो गई, बड़ी दुकान हो गई, कॉम्प्लेक्स हो गया, मॉल में कहीं दुकान हो गई and all that stuff. So those are commercial properties. Then comes the fourth point, that you buy a property and if you are able to build a business on it, then automatically the yield improves on that particular business. Just to give you an idea, in Goa, the thing is that if you buy a house, then you can convert that into an Airbnb or holiday rentals. So इसमें कर क्या रहे हो? You are buying a residential thing and then you are getting a tourism license. Some people started commenting that, you know what, आप illegal काम सिखा रहे हो. No, it is completely managed by the government. You have to apply and get a tourism license. Goa's economy thrives on tourism, so this is applicable in Goa. It might apply wherever you are living, so please आप check कर लेना. But the idea is to convert your property into some kind of business. Automatically your rental yield improves, right? So that is the simple message. If you do one of these 4 things, आपकी प्रॉपर्टी से 4 से 6%, 4 to 6% रेंटल यील्ड बहुत ईजिली आ जाएगी. आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज हाइपर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. एंड जस्ट इन केस यू विश टू लर्न मोर अबाउट रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टिंग, देन डू check out my workshop that I will be doing in Goa. The batches are full for the March intake, so we have opened another batch. I got so many requests that we also want to come learn about real estate investing, how to convert it into an income stream. So we are organizing one more workshop. Even there, the seats are filling really fast. Most likely it will be done in 2 days. You can check more details in the description and comment box. Now the third trick to make good returns from your investment comes from the stock market, which is a very simple strategy and I've taught it in the past. It is called as index investing. Now let me work through an example. So this was exactly the chart that I had been showing for a while now, like 2-3 months back also. आप मेरे videos check करोगे तो आपको मिलेगा. And please check my verified PNL in the description and comment box. I have linked the entire video. Please go and watch it. Now to illustrate this, let me pick the example of Nifty IT. You can go and check my videos 2-3 months back. I was speaking exactly the same thing. So I will just pick up literally that chart. मैंने लाइनें भी नहीं मिटाई हैं. See, this was IT index, right? And this was the channel trading strategy on index. Okay, that this is likely to go like this, right? When the index was here, this is where I did bulk buying. Now that was the same strategy that I used on Hindustan Unilever last year. The point that I am trying to drive home is very simple, that many a times you will see good indices in India trading at a discount. Now what are good indices? Good indices are like good stocks. For example, IT stocks जो होते हैं, they are like high profit margin companies. It's not as if that they are very high debt. It's a good index to be in. Similarly, bank index is a good index to be in. It is already regulation जो भी होना था बैंक में हो चुका, right? It's not as if that new regulations are going to come and suddenly like बैंक में volatility आ जाएगी बहुत ज़्यादा and all that stuff. So as an index, there is no major problem with IT index or bank index unless you believe that banking system is going to just ठप हो जाएगा and IT stocks सारे के सारे crush हो जाएंगे and all that. So these are good indices. Similarly, there is sector rotation that happens on small cap index, mid cap index, large cap index. So you have to identify, number one, the right index. Whichever index is undervalued, उसमें भर के position ले लो, you build like bulk position in it and just wait. You will easily be able to flip 15-20%. Now you would say that okay, तो आप पुरानी बातें कर दी, गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ दिए, right? Now talk about something that is going to give good returns in the future. See, if the market does well, then from this point, I am still very much bullish on banks. Banks, according to me, are still undervalued. It's a safer play. The valuations are reasonable. लोग फालतू का हुआ बनाते रहते हैं कि ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा, and all that stuff. I feel that if you want to do the index play, you could consider doing it on banks. It is still very much reasonable. Should you do it on IT? So that's a very interesting question. Now, see, from a short-term perspective, I think IT is now fairly valued. Now it's not as if that ekdam se, right? I mean, this should go like this. Well, it can happen, but I feel that the IT index is going to move in the range as of now, right? And breakout will happen at certain stage and we are going to reach that previous peak. But how soon? It really depends on the overall market conditions. But I hope you got the perspective कि अगर आपको swing करना है certain index, then right now that opportunity is in banks. So then comes the fourth way of improving your returns. This trick again comes from the stock market, that pick large cap blue chip companies that are bottoming out. Okay, so let me explain that through an example. So pick the example of HDFC Bank. बहुत सारे लोगों ने negative बोल दिया है this that. I am अभी भी very much bullish. There is no reason to be bearish on something like HDFC Bank. Again, not a stock recommendation. You guys can do your own analysis. I'm just sharing my viewpoint. So why am I saying that HDFC Bank is bottoming out? See, कई stocks में तो आपको बहुत clear indication मिल जाती है, but you need to understand the nature of the stock. For example, let me take you to the chart. What you will typically notice is that if you study the history of HDFC Bank, you would see कि यार 2 साल तक it does nothing, right? Sometimes, and then it gives an up move. So in 2010 you will see that it stayed sideways, then it up moved, and then COVID crash आ गया. So the point that I'm trying to tell you is that see, this is the basic nature of the stock, right? That the stock PE falls, then it consolidates, and then it gives a very good up move, right? So this has been happening, and 2 years seems like an average kind of a period for something like HDFC Bank. So what has happened in the last 2 years? Well, the stock has been sideways, right? So this was October. We are almost in October now. Nothing has happened on the stock. Everything else has improved. The profits have improved. The revenues have improved. आप ये भी देख लो, right? So for example, here if you see consistent improvement in profits, revenues, everything, all-time high profits, revenues. no reason why the stock will not compound at 15-20%. So this seems to me like a very safe-ish bet at this juncture. I have already built my bulk position. In fact, I'm sitting on profits on HDFC Bank. आप सब कुछ compute कर लोगे, all good things in which I have invested my money. The safe notional returns that I'm sitting on right now would be somewhere around 1.5 CR, very easily speaking. So anyways, this is the core concept that I wanted to teach you. Let me give you one more example because I just wanted to quickly tell you what bottoming out means. See, when it comes to slightly dicey type of stocks, for example PNB or public sector banks, typically speaking, those are dicey, right? कि अगर गिर गए तो भाई साहब पता नहीं कितने गिरेंगे and all that stuff. So their bottoming out typically happens. For example, here you can see that PNB started falling, it fell, then it stayed sideways, it fell more, and then since then it bottomed out somewhere here and it has given a massive run up. I had myself invested, benefited a lot by PNB. I am still invested in the bank and a lot of other PSU banks. So this bottoming out phenomena will happen with companies like PNB. But with HDFC Bank, this is unlikely to happen कि गिरते ही चले जा रहे हैं types, right? So that is not going to happen with something like HDFC Bank. Very, very unlikely scenario. So there you have to go by consolidation and rise. With something like PNB, it's like bottoming out and then rise. So okay, so let's shift gear and talk about something else because this is gaining more and more prominence and news. So these days people are getting super interested in P2P lending. क्या P2P lending करेंगे, 12% बनाएंगे, 12% assured return we'll get. भाई साहब, it's extremely foolish to do peer-to-peer lending. Peer-to-peer lending means that bank gets removed, you lend direct money to someone else whom you do not even know, and apps like MobiKwik Extra, this, that, they partner with some other company that will do risk management for you. Extremely atrocious idea if you're going and investing your money via that just for 12% return. If you simply invest in the stock market sensibly by studying, by understanding all the concepts that I'm teaching you, then you will make decent returns. So back to P2P lending, that in P2P lending, you are taking so much risk just to make 12% return. You should not be doing it. Apply all the methods that I'm teaching you. You will have much better odds of making money. So okay, so that brings us to the question कि यार हम खिलाड़ी लोग हैं. We want to invest in slightly higher risk instrument. So what would be those right instruments would be जहाँ पे risk is sensible and return are very good. So then I would say that you should learn about small cap and mid cap investing. Typically speaking, the small cap and mid cap space gives almost 2 times returns compared to large cap space in a bull market. This is not me saying it, this is the data. So let me quickly show you the data first and foremost. This is a chart that I keep on using and you will see that in a bull market, if the Sensex, which is large cap, collection of large companies, if it gives 91% return, here index, small cap index return was 2x. Here it was 3x. Here it was again almost 2x. Here it was an anomaly year. Here it was 2x. And typically आप देखोगे कि in a growing market, the small cap, mid cap will outperform the large cap by a lot, and in a bear market they might get corrected quite a bit. So sitting in 2023, you are of the viewpoint कि यार this is a growth market, this is a bull market, and the bull market will remain at least for the next 8 to 10 months. Elections आने वाले हैं वगैरह वगैरह. Then you tell me whether it makes sense to build a little bit of small cap positions or not. I'm not trying to get you into small cap space. As a disclaimer, I've already built my small cap positions. I'm not telling you that go and invest in small caps. All I'm simply telling you is that if you have SIPs running on small cap, ये सोच के बंद मत कर देना that okay, you know what, small caps have recently given like 2x return, this, that. I made an entire video on my Hindi channel. I will link it on small cap analysis. That will help you understand whether there is a bubble forming in small cap, this, that or not. If you guys want, I will make a separate video on small cap investing for my English channel also. Let me know in the comment and description box. But for the purpose of this video, please understand that staying invested in small cap is a very good strategy of at least making 20% return in a growing market. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता that if the markets are growing, the Nifty is moving by 2,000, 3,000 points. Small cap index will not move by 4,000 points, right? So that is unlikely to happen. So I hope you got the picture. So the next strategy of making decent returns without taking crazy amount of risk is to build a mutual fund portfolio. Okay. Now people make a lot of mistakes in terms of investing in mutual funds. For example, क्या करेंगे? They will go and pay mutual fund managers commissions to buy like blue chip companies, right? कि Bajaj Finance खरीद लो, HDFC Bank खरीद लो. This is something that you guys yourself can do, right? So why pay money? So do not invest crazy amount of money when it comes to large cap mutual funds, right? So this is one. Second key point, whatever money you were supposed to invest in large cap mutual funds, just go and put that money in Nifty 50. Okay. Now different studies prove that almost 80-85% of managers in the mutual fund space who manage large cap funds, they are unable to beat the index. So if you are of the viewpoint, yeah, I want to pick only safe stocks, मैं मैनेजर को दे देता हूँ. Don't do that. Rather go and put that money in Nifty 50. That improves your returns. Okay, so this is part A. Part B, add a little bit of risk to your portfolio. Now, what is the meaning of little bit of risk? So let's assume that you are putting a 10,000 rupee SIP every single month. What do you need to do? 80% be safe. 20% be little bit risky, right? So what do you need to do? 80-20. 80% goes where? Nifty 50. 20% goes where? In slightly riskier instruments like small cap, mid caps, right? Which are actively managed. इसमें आप actively managed ले सकते हो, no problem. Commissions भी लग जाएं तब भी no issues. Why? Because the small cap, mid cap space goes at 2x whenever the markets are booming. So just pick a right time of doing SIP. थोड़ा सा टाइमिंग आपको करना पड़ेगा. That be sensible कि अच्छा है मार्केट राइज कर रहा है generally, right? The markets are rising, so I should continue my SIPs, right? Whenever you see bloating happening, then pause your SIPs. It makes sense. So please learn a little bit of intelligent market timing, which is my final point. That unless you learn to manage your own money, you will continue to pay commission after commission after commission all your entire life. खुद सोच के देखो, just think for yourself that if you are, let's say, in 20s, 30s, you might be investing for 40, 50 more years, right? These days, life expectancy has gone up. So if you're investing for 50 more years and every single year you're paying 1.5%, 2% commissions, you are losing crazy amount of money over your entire lifespan. We just think that it is 1.5% commission, but that 1.5% commission is on the AUM, total capital that you are putting. In profit percentage, how much will it be? Well, it will at least be 10%. So I recommend all my family members, I recommend all my friends that please learn about stock investing. It is critical that you do that. If you are able to save half of that commission also, that will add a lot of money to your bank account. So these were simple steps. These were 8 specific things that can help you make more money and grow your money faster. Please learn, make notes, share it with your friends, tell everyone. Now, as a next step, please watch this video that I've done on my mutual fund portfolio. It will give you an idea as to how to construct an entire mutual fund. If you learn this beginner level stuff, then you can move on to more advanced level of investing and hopefully you will be able to grow your wealth. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon.